Right, OK.
Tittlecott Bridge in West Yorkshire.
Yes. That's nice.
Marathon bars, the English Channel, and the Co-op's ambient sausage roll.
Ambient sausage roll. Well, the English Channel was recently in the news this week because I think it's the French or somebody wants to rename it the English Pond. So is there things about being renamed? Like Marathon has famously become Snickers, isn't it, over the years? Gradually, it started off being Sarathon and it became Snarathon. So it's about name changes, isn't it? All these have been considered for name changes, but the only one that's changed its name is Marathon. It's as simple as that.
No.
The channel hasn't been renamed.
No, right, yes, the channel hasn't been renamed. They've all been renamed, apart from the English Channel, which the EU planners want to rename the Anglo-French Pond as part of an effort towards breaking down national barriers by creating new regions of Europe.
Well, that should improve relations between us and France forever.
In 1990, marathons were renamed Snickers to bring them into line with the global brand. It was originally named after a horse belonging to the owners. Ironically, the horse had been gelded, so no longer contained nuts. So. Tittlecott Bridge, no one followed the story of Tittlecott Bridge? It recently saw its name restored to the more traditional Tittlecock Bridge.
Yes.
After angry local residents launched a campaign. Local newspaper The Pontefract and Castleford Express said the council had been embarrassed because Tittlecock is a sexual innuendo.
No, it's not an innuendo. No. It's a statement of fact.
And which group was particularly outraged?
Pedants.
No, the Castleford area voice for the elderly.
Their slogan is aye.
On to the ambient sausage roll.
Ambient sausage roll, yes.
Managers at the Co-op have agreed to remove the description ambient from its sausage roll labels after admitting they don't know what it meant. They have all been renamed, apart from the English Channel, which EU planners want to rename the Anglo-French Pond. In Castleford, residents fought a campaign to retain the name of local landmark Tittlecock Bridge. Yeah. Of course, there are a number of other places with names that would make most people embarrassed to live there. There's Shitterton in Dorset, Twat in Shetland, Swindon.
Appeared in a hot air balloon over the Alps, never to be seen again.
A man of God and such enthusiasm. Of course they ended up eating him.
Caught it in a Turkish bordello. Of course, he's quite insane now.
I'm horny. Okay. Right on time. Right on time. You're such a hot temptation. Okay.
Yes, he drank 12 shots of absinthe, then tried to swim the channel.
Hypnotised into believing he was a steam locomotive. A very rum affair.
All that was left was his top hat and his silk scarf. The rest was just dust.
I got something to put in you. In you. I got something to put in you.
Hello. Now, I'm afraid today we have to start with an apology.
You may have already heard in the news about something which happened to us last week.
After Thursday's show, we went to a special cafe near the studio called the Coach and Horses.
As you know, we're always having competitions. Well, we had a competition to drink all the drinks hanging on the wall from left to right.
The drinks made us act in a silly way.
The music was very fast and loud, and Tina pulled her jumper up over her head to do a dance to it.
And then we had to take Jason home because he was poorly on the carpet and some chairs.
On the walk back, one of us went to the toilet in someone's letterbox.
And an amount of Tina's underwear was left on the wing mirror of a car where it was found the next morning.
Alistair was kind and took me into a quiet street behind some shops to try to help sort out the muddle with my clothes.
But some people from a newspaper thought they saw me wrestling Tina in a special way. They took some pictures of this because they believed you'd be interested in seeing it. While I was explaining to the man with the camera that he'd made a mistake and we weren't wrestling, I accidentally bit him on the nose. Quite hard. And I now realise this was wrong.
Yes, it was. So today, we'd like to say that we're sorry.
Alistair, you've been to Telford to see a Vulcan bomber.
I have.
Hello, old man.
Hip, hip.
I brought you some grapes and shit.
Whatever. I'm allergic to fruit. I've got this intolerance. Like with sweets as well, it affects my behaviour. I've got a note in everything.
So you all right, then? Because you like crashed your plane, isn't it? In field? And you like mashed up your plane and some cows and shit?
You know my legs? You know how many I've always had in that?
Like 2 legs or some shit like that?
Yeah, well, I've only got 1 leg now.
Random.
I know, you should have seen my face when I woke up.
Were you like, oh my God?
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, no way. And the doctor's going, we had to take your leg off and all this. And I'm like really stressed out and cussing him bad.
You cussed him up?
Yeah, and he's all like, watch your language. And I'm like, you can't actually stop me cussing because I've got like a hyperactivity disorder.
You've got a note and everything.
And then he says he'll get me a false leg and stuff. And he was really kind and gentle and told me not to worry. Do you know what I said?
Are you gay?
Yeah. Are you bent, I said, and he's all, no way. And I'm like, are you a batty man or something?
He does sound well bent.
Anyway, so then he said I didn't deserve to be looked after and he was going to take my false leg and shove it up my arse.
Well, they do that, isn't it, benders?
Isn't it?
Isn't it?
Isn't it, though?
Standard.
After the poisoning, the Russian ambassador was asked about diplomatic relations between Britain and Russia, and he said they've become rather poisonous. I mean, he's auditioning for a Bond film now.
Why didn't they just shoot him in the head?
Sorry, what?
You know, they've got, I mean...
I didn't expect that from the host of Pointless.
Well, no, why did they go to all these lengths? I mean, if they really don't care what we think...
I think it's fiercer. It's more exciting, isn't it?
I suppose, yeah. How do Russian security services contemptuously refer to the 2 spies?
The 2 spies?
The 2 spies, the would-be assassins.
The would-be assassins.
Soon to be dead.
According to the Times, they're known as Dolce & Gabbana in Russian spy circles because of the suggestion by a TV interviewer that they appeared to be 2 gay men on holiday. The editor of Russia Today, Margarita Samonyan, who interviewed them, tweeted after the interview, I don't know if they're gay or not gay. They're so stylish with their beards and haircuts and tight pants. They didn't come on to me. Definitely gay then, Margarita. Good evening. Welcome to Have I Got News For You? I'm Alexander Armstrong. In the news this week, there's evidence that now the election's over and done with, someone's got a lot of presents to wrap up for his generous Russian donors.
Not to mention all his children.
In Maidstone, one rookie reporter hasn't been told that the venom in Dominic Raab's spittle can be deadly. And as a last throw of the dice on the campaign trail, Jeremy Corbyn utters the magic words to summon up the legendary beardy man of Barnsley.
The Tories have had 9 years to fund our NHS properly.
On Ian's team tonight is a comedian who did Hispanic studies at university. Presumably he got a 2-1. Please welcome John Richardson. And with Paul tonight is the ex-Tory minister who voted Remain but is backing Brexit. The sort of dithering that may explain why she and Jeremy Corbyn are no longer in politics. Please welcome Nicky Morgan. And we start with the bigger stories of the week. Ian and John, take a look at this.
Oh, right, hang on, here he comes. 5 seats, that's optimistic. That's your own personal exit poll. And there's Boris and the blonde he's in love with, himself. Well, didn't see that coming. Big win for Boris. Silence. Yes, but everyone a bit stunned. For those of us who stayed up all night, I think John Curtis just ruined it. And if you're going to tell us the result at 10 o'clock, why stay up? I had a friend who didn't watch at all, woke up and saw Boris Johnson saying, I won a big majority, and was delighted, because thought he was lying, obviously. And it had been a good night, but sadly, it wasn't true. And it does prove the old adage, you know, you can fool most of the people most of the time if you lie enough.
Good news for the Loch Ness Monster as well.
Good news for the Loch Ness Monster?
Yes, great news. It's been a great night for the Loch Ness Monster.
In what sense?
Well, because...
It's going to get Ruth Davidson to accompany it round the loch.
This is exactly right. If the SNP had reached 50 seats, Ruth Davidson had promised to swim naked in Loch Ness, and they only got 48. What did Boris say last night had given him?
Just a massive boner. Absolute stonk on.
He said in a speech it had given him a stonking mandate.
That used to be an aftershave, didn't it?
What's amazing, you have to look at it from Corbyn's point of view, the only warning we had, really, was all the times it's happened before and all the people who said this is exactly what would happen. So sometimes you've got to hold your hand up and say, who was to know? Apart from all the people who knew.
And literally everyone got it wrong. Even the most overexcited Tories thought they were going to get a few.
It's difficult for them to judge a system where it really should be... The number of MPs you have should be reflected by the number of memes that are retweeted on Twitter. Because up until 5 to 10, I thought this is going to turn out all right, you know.
Yeah, well, Twitter had a big Labour win.
Yeah.
But as so often with Twitter, they're wrong.
When I bang my clipboard on the dash like so, I'd like you to imagine someone stepped in front of the car and execute an emergency stop, retaining full control of the vehicle.
OK.
Would you please pull away when it is safe to do so?
Hi guys, now the build-up to Sportsfest 2010 is really picking up pace. It's a very exciting time for us.
And we're very proud because a decision's been made regarding our official logo.
That's right, we have had the best design team in London working on it. Paul Adams, no less, has personally worked on this logo.
We hope you're as energised and as impressed by it as we are. Mark.
Well, without further ado, the official logo for Sportsfest 2010. Jason, you don't seem sure.
No. I think it's good. I was just thinking... Would it work in a different colour?
Judge for yourself. I mean, here it is in pink.
Yeah, I prefer it like that.
Sue, you've always got something to say.
The different colours kind of express the diversity of what we're trying to achieve here.
What I like about it is it's very forceful. It's very confident.
Yes, there's a kinetic energy to it and sense of urgency.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, that was actually precisely what the brief was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gary?
Yeah, I don't know. Don't you think it's a bit, you know, bum sexy? I just think it's a little bit kind of, you know, a bit...
Well, no. What we've done is we've captured the symbolic handover moment from the relay event. And I think that's really emblematic, isn't it? 2010.
No, don't get me wrong. I like it, you know. I mean, I really like it. I just wonder if it's a little bit... You know, but maybe it's just me.
I don't think anyone else will notice that.
So I gather this is your second heart bypass operation, Mr. Peterson, but I still need to take you through the various procedures we're going to,
Everything all right, Doc?
Mr. Peterson.
Yes, that's right.
Mr. Peterson, member of staff at King's Grammar, Denby.
Well, that's a while back, but yeah.
Yes, Roberts. Gareth Roberts, you were my PE teacher.
Surprised you remember me.
Oh, I remember you.
Roberts, that must be, what?
26 years.
Easy to forget, isn't it?
27 in September.
Right. See, one of my lads, were you? Let's see, cricket team, I'll bet.
Nope.
Rugby squad?
No, I wasn't really that into games, Mr. Peterson. I was more of an academic. Or pufter, as I believe you like to call it.
Yes, all work and no play
makes Jack a dull boy. Yes, I remember that. Only in this case, all work and no play makes Jack a fellow of the Royal College of Surgeons. Anyway, let's get you all prepped up, shall we? You'll be pleased to see that I'm wearing the correct uniform this afternoon, Mr. Peterson, if that always seemed to bother you so much. I assume you won't be making me run 50 laps of the hospital in my underwear.
Well, we had different teaching guidelines then. Must seem very unfashionable today, but that's the way things were. And if some of the lads were less adept at the rough and tumble, well... I'm sorry.
What was that?
I said, I'm sorry. Dr. Roberts?
Technically, it's Mr. Roberts. We dropped the doctor beyond consultancy level.
Well, you weren't that bad, Roberts, anyway. There was far worse than you, like. Oh, who was that fat kid? What was his name? Lardo. Oh, that's it, Lardy. Tom Lardy.
And this is your anaesthetist, John Hardy. Don't you worry, we'll soon have you out of that operating theatre. Stark bollock naked and tied to the flagpole.
Right, so yes, this is...
Miss BMP?
Yeah. I don't think he's a real policeman. We do these things so much better than anybody else, don't we? Weddings. Somebody said they employed lip readers to sort of see what they were saying. She said, I do at one point. He said, I do at another point. But apparently Prince Charles at one point turned to Camilla and tried his lip reader, and apparently he said...
Yeah, what nugget did David Cameron share with Nick Clegg?
I've never liked you.
I want a divorce.
Yeah.
He revealed I had to have my trousers let out.
Let's be honest, she's a good-looking girl, but there's no need for that. I mean, that's not...
It's not seamless.
That is just disrespectful. Oi, use the hymn book, use the hymn book. That's what he said.
So I'm off to New York for 3 days on Wednesday. Back Sunday, then straight on to Zurich. Meetings all day Monday, then Monday night. Fly to Brussels, then on to Dusseldorf Wednesday morning.
Wow, busy schedule. What do you do?
Then home again for 2 days, then back to bloody New York again.
What do you do for a living?
I don't know.
You must know what job you do.
No, I have literally no idea. I travel all over the place and have meetings with other men who look very like me, and we josh about golf handicaps and, the wives' breasts, but I really don't know why. See that? Christ alone knows what that's all about.
You must have some idea what you do. What's your company called?
PHP Residual Solutions.
It's not much of a clue, is it? Well, let's narrow it down. I mean, you're obviously not a fireman.
No, and I'm not a baker, otherwise I'd have one of those hats. I'm not a supermodel, I'm not Prime Minister, I'm not an astronaut, shepherd, priest, chocolatier, life coach, bullfighter. I'm not a special needs classroom assistant, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the secretary of a Scottish Country Dance Society.
Oh, maybe you work for one of those companies that coats things in plastic. Like, they take metal things and they coat them in plastic.
Yeah. Yeah, could be. Yeah, why not? Let's say that. Sounds plausible. Great, what do you do?
I work for a company that coats metal things in plastic. That's what made me think of it.
Hey,
Paul, you old bastard. I didn't know you were getting this flight. How's work?
Oh, that's great.
Not interfering with your goal for hope?
Oh, no, still swinging away like the wife's knockers.
My name's Mark Pembridge and I'm an actor. 6 months ago, I was acting in a dramatic reconstruction for one of those accident claims adverts. I was playing a chef who in real life burnt his hand on a hot stove when suddenly I burnt my elbow on a hot stove.
Ow!
I felt entitled to compensation. Luckily, I knew who to call.
Have you suffered an accident while reconstructing an accident? Yes? Then you could be entitled to compensation. Call us now.
I got £7,000, and in no time at all I was back at work reconstructing accidents for accident claims adverts.
Mark is not alone. Sarah Clacy sprained her wrist when she was reconstructing a woman tripping at work and twisting her knee.
Ow.
She got £3,000. Mike Lorimer called us when he fell from a stepladder and broke his leg, reconstructing a builder falling from a stepladder and breaking his leg. He got £5,000. So if you've injured yourself whilst reconstructing someone falling downstairs or slipping on a wet floor, then call Reconstruction Claims Direct now. We're waiting for your...
Have you had an accident while presenting an accident claims advert for people who have had accidents reconstructing accidents? Then call Reconstruction Claims Direct Gold now on 08081 570 585. We're waiting for your call.
Hello. Now, you may be wondering why Jason isn't with us today.
Well, you've probably already heard the unfortunate news about our last appeal.
Yes, by collecting all those stamps and unwanted clothes, you raised nearly £1 million towards a holiday centre for disabled people in the New Forest.
Now, Jason came up with an idea for making even more money from the amount you'd already raised.
He transferred that money into another bank account.
And spent it on a large amount of special powder. This powder, like the holiday centre, is designed to make people feel very happy.
Jason was going to sell this powder for nearly double what he'd spent on it.
Thereby doubling your money.
But some bad men stole the powder from its secret hiding place in our time capsule for the year 2025.
Things were really in a bit of a mess now, and what Jason should have done was spoken to some people in charge to see if everything could have been sorted out.
Unfortunately, Jason tried to make things all right by himself.
Yes. He attempted to get the powder back off the bad men, but there was a horrible incident with a chest freezer, Pippin, and some plastic bags.
Jason let us down, he let you down, but most of all, he let himself down.
And Pippin.
Yeah. Tina, you've been to Wigan to see the world's largest mirror.
That's right.
Well, the Select Committee was asked to look into the handling of COVID, and their response was that it was probably, I don't know, not very good. No, they actually said it was the worst public health crisis in British history.
That's right.
So the government's COVID response is up there with the Black Death. I'm not exaggerating. I'm trying to be balanced.
So what did the report find? It concluded we didn't lock down quickly enough, we didn't protect the elderly in care homes, we didn't close borders quickly enough, and we were wrong to pursue herd immunity. I mean, Gavin Williamson would call that an A-star performance. The report was severely critical of the £38 billion test and trace system, calling it slow, uncertain, and often chaotic. Dido Harding was unavailable for comment. I say unavailable, no one could track her down.
The report did say as well that we should have challenged the science before.
Well, that's right.
Because I thought the science was like this one thing that everyone agreed with. Turns out there are lots of sciences and they don't always agree. But I would say that the British public, we challenged the science a lot. I mean, on my family WhatsApp group, everyone was virologist, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You have both been found guilty by court-martial of cowardice, desertion, and disobedience in the face of the enemy. The sentence of the court is that you are to be executed by firing squad. God save the king.
So is you saying he was going to shoot us all up with guns and this and that and everything else?
That is the sentence of the court.
But we's on your side, man. You're not meant to shoot us up. You're meant to shoot up all them other geezers, like the Germans or Italians or whatever they're supposed to be, isn't it?
Yeah, we never done nothing anyway. Some other geezer did all them things you said. I'm not even lying.
Yeah, me and my brethren's innocent, and I swear on my nan's life, and she's in a home with a disease and all this.
Do you have any last requests?
Can I sit down, Blood? My leg's well extending up.
You may not sit down.
Well, then I'll need my inhaler. I was asthmatic. I could actually die.
Did you confiscate his inhaler? That's abuse. He could actually die.
Isn't it, though?
We're both about to die anyway. Squad?
I had this asthma attack once, right? And I couldn't breathe for 8 minutes. And I had to go hospital. And the geezer gives me all, like, steroids, what are made from a dead man's balls and that.
No way. Is they all made from knackers? That's skanky.
Squad, take aim.
This is so unfair.
I want a community sentence. Being shot might affect me emotionally.
On my command, you will fire.
All right, Biffy.
All right, Mum.
All right, Biffy's mum.
You've been picking on my boy again and his mate and all this and chatting shit about stuff they've never even done.
Madam, remove yourself. You have no right to be here. Your son and his fellow officer have been found guilty by court-martial.
Don't shit me about. You've been after him since day one. Any little thing and you have a go, like when he bombed Portsmouth.
That was an accident.
I know it was not. I'm taking these boys back home, yeah, for some chips and a Savaloy. And you try and stop me and I'll say you touched their asses.
Stop that this instant.
No way, Blood. I was keeping them all for, because you was a pedo and I'm not even lying.
Isn't it? Isn't it, though?
Isn't it?
No, but isn't it, though?
Harsh.
Good evening and welcome to The Critical Factor. Our contestants tonight are Michael Thompson, a consultant civil engineer from Halifax, West Yorkshire.
Hello.
Simon O'Connor, a consultant civil engineer from Newbury, West Berkshire.
Hello.
Susan Small, a housewife from Winchester, Hampshire.
Hello.
And Christopher Oust, a consultant civil engineer from Boston, Lincolnshire.
Hi there.
Steady on there, Christopher. So, for the next half an hour, we'll be testing these contestants' wits with a series of mental and physical challenges. Tonight is the second to last heat of the first playoff heats in our third Group F draw finals. In 17 weeks' time, we'll know all the 63 finalists competing to be named the Critical Factor Superperson of the Year and take away this state-of-the-art plastic trophy. But that's still 83 weeks away, so let's start, as we always do, with round one. The task is to complete the three-dimensional logic puzzle showing the UK's national grid and regional substations. Your time starts now. The clue here is in getting the Horsham 60 megavolt uplink at the bottom of the map. Michael has that piece the wrong way round. Christopher's worked out that no two adjacent colours can be the same, except for purple and buff. Simon's just staring at his. It's beginning to take shape for Susan. And that's it. Well done. And for Michael, that's Christopher's puzzle completed. An excited celebration there. Simon having real trouble. Well, there you go. A valiant effort nonetheless. Let's see what that does to our scoreboard. Simon, a tough round for you, and that leaves you in last place with a critical factor of 2. But Susan truly mastered that challenge, and into a worthy lead goes the housewife from Winchester, Hampshire, with a critical factor of 10. Coming to the final leg of the critical factor assault course, and just 5 seconds between the leading contestants. But it's Christopher who's going to get over the line in first place and pick up 10 points. Susan isn't far behind. And way back in last place, still making a valiant effort, is Michael. So, Christopher, was that a tough physical challenge?
It's about average. Going down the aerial slide, that was going to come off. That didn't, so that was fine.
Right, so that bit was okay?
Yeah.
So which was the toughest part?
Probably coming down the aerial slide.
10 points to Christopher there as we head into the decisive final round. It occurs once in a minute, twice in a week, and once in a year. What is it? Susan.
The letter E.
Correct. That's the end of the round and the end of the contest. And the winner with a critical factor of 16 is housewife Susan Small. Susan, you go through to our 7th group final. Christopher, this time you weren't good enough. And so that ends this week's series of mental and physical challenges on the critical factor. After a break for Christmas, we'll be back in the new year for more of the same. I do hope you'll join us. Until then, from the contestants and from me, good night.
We'll just give that a minute to set hard. You ever thought of having any cosmetic work done? I mean, I don't think you really need anything major doing, you know. Just maybe a bit of whitening. Remove some of that staining. You know. I'll give you a couple of leaflets so you can have a look through them. Just see what all the different things do. OK, just another tick or two. There we go. Let's pop them down there. Yes, it's funny, isn't it, all this cosmetic surgery business? I mean, it's only a few years ago. The idea of it was all a bit... Well, you know, people thought you were a bit up yourself, didn't they? A bit vain. But now, you know, there's the old Botox, the liposuction, you know. Everyone's at it. You know, Emma, my wife, she's had some work done. Oh, God. No, you never think it. You know, she's got a lovely figure. I know, she's kept herself very trim. Absolutely no complaints in that department. No, it's just after our youngest was born, she decided... Well, you know, suffice to say, she's always been quite pronounced down there. It's actually quite common. You know. The Japanese call it the winged butterfly. They look on it as some sort of sexual delicacy. Anyway, so she had this work done, laser vaginoplasty, I think they call it. And I must say, the chap did an absolutely first-rate job. I mean, it looks like a little pink rose. I mean, an unexpected side effect is that the sex has become absolutely brilliant. I mean, it's so taut down there. First time I thought I'd taken a wrong turning. That's you all done. Let's have a rinse.
But in this strife-torn world, there is one small ray of hope. Which long-running conflict has finally been resolved this week?
Oh, Katy Perry and the Swift girl.
Taylor Swift. Yes. Joe, who made the vital first move?
I didn't know they'd fallen out,
Did
if
you
I'm
not?
totally
Did you
honest.
not?
I shall get on
You're
what's
out
up
of
with
touch, the political class. You've got
no.
no idea. Real people's lives. Get with it.
Yeah, Katy Perry...
Ian's attempts to be a teenager are very entertaining.
Katy Perry apparently sent Taylor Swift
olive
an actual or olive.
Yeah, that's right, an actual one.
What a knob.
Do you know how it all started? Ian, you're up on this.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to go into it.
Okay.
Was there an argument about backing dancers?
Exactly that. According to the Telegraph, Katy Perry apparently tried to book some of Taylor Swift's backing dancers for her own show, who Taylor had stolen from Katy in the first place, and one of the dancers said, obviously, we were with Katy for 2.5 years. She's like family to us, so we were like, absolutely. We weren't really dancing much in Taylor's tour anyway. So I got a little bored and I really wanted to do a promo tour. Then Taylor unfollowed them all on Twitter.
Well, we've been married for 23 years.
We met at a youth club dance.
Yeah, she was the prettiest
girl there. And he was wearing his
my
dad's shirt.
Yeah. Janet's the
managing director of a very well-known retail outlet in Loughborough. I mean, not the managing director of the whole company, just the manager of one of the branches, but a very good living nonetheless. And Clive's a Nazi sympathiser.
We went to Barbados for our...
The Bahamas.
And that was, what, 5?
12.
12 years. God, time's flown by, hasn't it, Soph?
Helen.
I mean, some people find it a bit odd, the idea of two couples living together, but, you know, we love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much cheaper and you don't get bored of spending all your time with just one other person.
But plus, we've known each other for years, so there's no jealousy. You know, I mean, some people say, have you ever been tempted to swap partners? We think, no, that'd be really weird.
Yeah. Really wrong.
Oh.
Yeah, people.
Horrible.
Really weird.
Meeting Mike's the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Oh, shut up.
It is. He knows it is.
Well, I suppose so. Hang on, you've got to...
Oh. We moved in together within, what,
2 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah. Oh, we just do everything together, don't we? Cooking, shopping.
Gym.
Of course.
And the weird thing is...
Neither of us is gay.
Well, we met at school and started going out and never looked back.
Obviously, I was fired for that.
Well, we met at university, so we've been together 20 years. And in that time, I don't think we've spent a single night apart.
I've got absolutely no idea who she is. Sorry.
Came out of the blue. One moment I was walking through the old quarter of Dubrovnik, reconciling myself to lifelong bachelorhood, you know, sheds and slipper style, like Uncle Tony. And the next moment I've spotted this one. And we have fallen instantly in love. It was sort of a primal thing, I suppose. And the fact that she doesn't speak English and I don't speak her language has made it all the more magical. Just a wonderful, wonderful fairy tale.
Help.
She's now learning English.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it is a bit weird, but, you know, we just all really get on. Yeah, I get on great with Chris. I have no problem whatsoever with the whole Fiona thing. And, you know, Fiona gets on great with Hermione. So.
Who's Hermione?
Yeah, so there is a part of me that wonders quite how I've ended up in this situation. Running an organic soup company with the bloke who killed my mum.
We also make porridge.
I really have got a tremendously fat bottom. When I brush my teeth and I'm in the nude, my bottom wobbles. I mean, it really does. It really wobbles. But fortunately, Jeremy's not a big fan of a firm bottom. Are you, Jeremy?
No.
Love only lasts 3 months.
It's a medical fact.
Yeah, because of too much chemicals.
Or not enough?
Because of an imbalance.
Yeah, it's a disorder,
Yeah,
isn't it? That
It
eventually
eventually becomes order.
Yeah. So, I mean, this, you know, this is perfectly normal.
Yeah, it's normal to be like this.
It's inevitable.
Your hand's on my leg.
Sorry.
The most exciting moment was Keir Starmer getting glittered. The protester, no one quite knows what he was actually protesting because it was very long and complicated,
Yes.
and he was still explaining it as he was being dragged past us.
I thought it was someone from Just Stop Strictly.
I'm actually dressed up as Keir Starmer in the glitter
God.
and the red.
Starmer wouldn't be wearing red.
What was the point of the glitter, though? Was it at a level of interest?
Yeah, I mean, it made Starmer look great. Everyone around me was saying, well, doesn't he look great in that
But he
one?"
had to take his jacket off, which it looked slightly rehearsed. So suddenly it was Keir gets down to work,
Sleeves
shirt
up.
sleeves, no jacket, not formal, not posh.
And I think it was rehearsed because he'd ironed his shirt sleeves, and whoever does that unless they're planning to take their jacket off.
Oh, you think this was choreographed?
Yeah, I think it was choreographed. Well, no, I don't really.
Well, GB News, they like a conspiracy theory.
Steve, what are you doing?
Oh. Sam, I thought you were in sleep mode.
I was, but my sensors alerted me.
Oh, right.
What are you doing, Steve?
Me? Just, popping to the loo.
Why are you taking the magazine, Steve?
Oh, just something to read, you know.
But Steve, my sensors tell me there is only 4.2% text in that magazine. The rest is pictures.
There's a great article in there about the new BMWs. Yeah, you're right. Probably best if I leave the magazine here. Tell you the truth, I don't really feel like going to the loo now. Ugh.
Would you like to play chess, Steve?
Nah, no, you're all right.
What are you doing, Steve?
Sam, I was just, popping in the shower.
Why?
Oh, I just felt a little bit, you know, dirty.
Steve, my optical input has been obscured.
Oh dear, I'll sort that out in a minute.
Steve, your gown is obscuring my optical input.
I don't think it is.
Steve, unless optical input is restored, procedure 4.2 will be implemented.
No, don't do that!
Implementing procedure 4.2. Oxygen being removed from the living areas.
Got it!
Procedure 4.2 aborted.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for that, Sam.
I was just following procedures, Steve.
Might as well have an early night.
Do you want to play chess, Steve?
Not really, no.
Honestly, you wouldn't believe some of the dodgy things that Dan's into. He's totally twisted.
Yeah, all right, okay. Well, I admit it, yeah, I'm a monster. Yeah, actually, no, having said that, I have got a thing about your gym socks. I don't know what it is.
It is like that. What is it with you guys? It used to make me keep them on if I'd been running.
Yeah, well, it's a bloke thing, you know, we're all closet perverts.
Yeah, you big weirdos.
I'm a bit weird.
Oh, yeah, really.
I like bunnies.
Here we go, bunnies and bunny girls.
Strippers forever. No, I mean like actual bunnies, you know, real rabbits. I've got about 30 in a hutch in my garden. There's nothing like the brush of a rabbit's fur on your skin, you know, the soft tickle of its whiskers, and the way its coarse tongue gives you goosebumps every time it licks your nipples. I like to have 2 or 3 rabbits in the bed with me at night, pressed up against my naked back. And then I'll hold one of them really tightly at arm's length above me, you know, and squeeze it really hard till it shits on me. That a bit too weird?
Welcome, everyone. Now, before we get started, I like to play a little getting to know you game. So, going around the group, I want you each to make 2 statements about yourself, preferably both of them quite surprising, one of which is true, okay? And one is a lie. So, go on, really throw me a curveball. Kerry, do you mind starting?
Okay. Well, I've been out with Brad Pitt. And I've swum with dolphins.
Oh, thank you, Kerry. Well, I don't think you'd have kept Brad to yourself for this long, so I'm guessing that's the lie. Okay, Lee, one weird truth and one funny lie, please.
I once slept with Angelina Jolie, and I have a pet rat.
Very good, Lee. I think we know which one's the lie there, don't we? Howard.
Oh, okay, I once slept with a Thai ladyboy. And I once slept with a Vietnamese ladyboy. Bit too weird?
and then on Terry's stag do, we made him wear this pink miniskirt all night.
That is nothing. Doug's stag do, right? I get completely wasted. And when he's passed out cold in his room, we creep in, shave one of his eyebrows off. Seriously, in his wedding photographs, he's like this. Honestly, he looks such a tit. He's got no eyebrow.
I once played a really good stag joke that totally weirded the guy out.
Oh, sounds good.
This friend of mine, Simon, was getting married, and I got him to pass out after drinking loads of that green stuff.
Midori.
Oh, Midori. Potassium hypochlorate. Yeah, I got it from this Russian website. It rendered him completely unconscious. Anyway, he woke up in bed the next day, couldn't remember anything about the night before or what I'd done to him.
Yeah, he shaved his pubes off. His pubes off.
His fiancée Katie was lying next to him, and she went down under the sheets to, make his day a bit special. Anyway, he sort of laid back watching her, a little bit woozy. Anyway, as soon as she started, he knew something was wrong. Something was different. He just couldn't work out what. And then suddenly, Katie started laughing, and he looked down at her, and he realised. He froze. His mouth dropped open because it wasn't her at all. It was me wearing a wig and a mask.
A bit too weird.
Bernie Eccleston turning up for his
Oh,
case.
yes, it was great. He was rather baffled by the concept of revolving doors. Here he goes.
There he is, and he goes.
Here he goes. Right. Now, so far, so good, you see. There we are. Now, just come walk out. No. No.
What are you doing up here?
Thinking?
Oh, careful. Your head might fall off.
Dad,
Come on, son. Spit it out.
why didn't Mum want me to go on holiday with her?
Was that all this is about? Well, the thing is, it's nice for your mum and Jill to go on their own. You see, when you're in the first throes of a big, passionate lesbian relationship, the last thing you need is some little kid wandering in saying, Mummy, can I go to the swimming pool, is it? You see, your mum was never really satisfied by me, sexually, so it's nice for her occasionally to get the full treatment from someone on the home team. I mean, don't get me wrong, I tried. But when it came down to it, I was just extremely lazy in bed. And your poor old mum sometimes had to sort herself out. But where would you rather be? With a couple of rug munchers in Ibiza? Or here with me, watching the Top Gear DVD, eh? Go on, race you to the telly.